Massive news is emerging in the XRP community. A new image released by Gemini has shown what appears to be a Mastercard featuring the XRP logo, with a launch date of August 25th this year. If this is confirmed, it would represent one of the most important moments of mainstream adoption for XRP, taking it from the role of settlement asset in cross-border transactions to a visible, consumer-facing payment instrument recognized globally. The symbolism of seeing the XRP logo on a Mastercard cannot be overstated. Mastercard processes trillions in global payments every year, and an integration that connects directly with XRP would instantly give the token exposure to millions of users. The excitement surrounding this development comes at a time of volatility in the broader crypto markets. Bitcoin currently trades near 112,000. Ethereum is around 4,200, and XRP sits at 2.87, showing a significant correction as the market absorbs shifting expectations about interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. Just weeks ago, probability models showed over an 80% chance of a rate cut in September. That number has now collapsed to 57%, and the effect is evident across risk assets. The sell-offs from institutional giants only amplify the uncertainty. BlackRock recently sold over $250 million in Ethereum and more than $200 million in Bitcoin. These liquidations suggest that institutions are repositioning, potentially freeing capital for opportunities in altcoins as the cycle shifts. Amid these market moves, Stronghold released an official update confirming that XRP and XLM are uniquely positioned to benefit from ISO 20022 integration. This global messaging standard is being adopted by banks and financial systems worldwide, and only a handful of digital assets meet its technical and compliance requirements. XRP serves institutional and banking clients, while XLM targets non-bank customers, creating a two-pronged foundation for the future of digital payments. This distinction ensures both tokens have a role within the new financial architecture. Meanwhile, the Gemini announcement is more than just a teaser. It was showcased on a billboard in New York, displaying the Mastercard logo alongside the XRP symbol and highlighting the date of August 25th. If this timeline holds, XRP holders could soon see the launch of an official credit or debit card tied to one of the world's largest financial networks. Such a step would mark a new era of accessibility, potentially allowing everyday users to spend XRP seamlessly across Mastercard's global payment rails. For years, XRP has been seen primarily as a bridge asset powering cross-border settlements behind the scenes. A credit card would put it directly in the hands of consumers, bridging the gap between institutional infrastructure and retail use. Adding further weight to this narrative, JP Morgan has been openly evaluating the capital flows that XRP-based ETPs could attract once approved. Their analysis projects billions in potential inflows, ranking XRP alongside Solana as one of the few digital assets with clear institutional demand. This attention from one of the world's largest banks underscores that XRP is not just surviving regulatory scrutiny, but actively positioning itself at the heart of the next financial revolution. The convergence of these stories paints a remarkable picture. On one side, institutions like BlackRock and ARK Investment are offloading Bitcoin and Ethereum, suggesting that the liquidity cycle may be turning toward altcoins. On another, regulators and banks are finalizing the frameworks that will determine which digital assets are compliant with global standards like ISO 20022. And at the same time, major corporations like Mastercard and Gemini are testing consumer-facing products that feature XRP, directly linking the asset to millions of users worldwide. What happens next will depend on several factors. If the Federal Reserve delays rate cuts further, crypto markets may face additional short-term pressure. But regardless of temporary volatility, the institutional interest, the regulatory alignment, and the growing list of corporate partnerships all suggest that XRP is quietly moving towards center stage. Seeing its logo on a Mastercard is not just about branding. It symbolizes the acceptance of XRP within the very infrastructure of global finance. The next weeks will be critical. With the expected date of August 25th, all eyes will be on Gemini and Mastercard to see whether the card is officially launched. At the same time, market participants will be watching closely for clarity from regulators and moves from institutions like JP Morgan that could accelerate adoption. Whether or not this card becomes a reality, the trajectory of XRP is undeniable. It is no longer just a speculative asset. It is becoming an integral part of the financial system, both for banks and potentially for everyday consumers. Stay informed, stay alert, and remember that what we are witnessing may be the early chapters of a new era in global payments, one where XRP stands at the center of both institutional finance and consumer transactions.